Hello crafters, I'm Jan B and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this tuxedo card. I was requested by a friend of mine, a crafty friend of mine in Arizona in the US. She'd seen a video that she rather liked, but the measurements were in metric. So I had a look at the video and it was a brilliant project. But there were some bits in it that were more like guesswork rather than definite instructions. So I've changed it around a bit. I watched several other videos showing how to do these kind of cards, and I feel that I've picked out all the best bits and come up with my version. I've sealed mine down so this comes out and you can write the greeting on the back. I'm not quite sure how well you can see this because it's black, but there's a little pocket here with a flap on it. What I'm going to do now is I'm using a much lighter colour for the video, so hopefully you won't have any trouble following what I'm doing. So to start off with, I'm going to do the card pieces you're going to be needing. Now the cardstock I'm using is one of our new colours. This is grey granite, and I'm afraid I haven't done measurements in metric for this. There were just too many and it was a bit confusing trying to work out whether my conversions would work with following it through, so I felt best to leave them alone. It may be better for you to actually watch the other person's video. I'll put a link in the box below if that's what you'd like to do. It's not the same as this, but it is a good project. So in inches, this card base measures, hold on, let me see, from 3/4 inches by 9 inches, and two pieces for the pocket. One measures 1 1/8 inches by 1 1/4 inches, and another piece is 1/4 inch by 1 1/8 inches. For the tie, there are two pieces. One measures one measures 1 inch by 3 3/4, and the other is 3/4 inch by 1 1/4 inches. And then for the shirt, I'm using a patterned one this time, and you need two pieces. Oh, this, by the way, is from the Neutrals 6x6 Designer Series paper. I'm pleased to say that we've got all the Designer Series paper stacks back, whereas before we had 12x12, they're now 6x6. Designs have changed slightly, but it does give us the opportunity of having at least some Designer Series paper that for every cardstock that we have, which is absolutely fabulous. So this is this measures 3 7/8 inches by 4 1/2 inches, and this one measures 2 inches by 3 7/8 inches. Oh yes, that's about right. 3 7/8 inches by 2 inches. So I think the first bit we will do will be the shirt. So the large piece is okay, we need to work with this piece. And the first thing we need to do is to put a score line in here. I'm using my scoreboard. You can use your trimmer, whatever you feel best with. And if you just put that in vertically and score at 3 1/4, went off the rails there, 3 1/4 inches. But because this is Designer Series paper, don't press too hard because you will go straight through if you put too much pressure on there. And then we need to draw a line at 1 1/2 inches. So if I take my pencil, so that's 1 1/2. One and a half. Just join those two up. No, I'm not going to line up that high up. I can't see what I'm doing anyway that far. I'm just using my grid paper for this. That's better because that is 1.5. Right, okay. Can you see me from there? Yep. Okay, so that's 1.5 inches. Now what we need to do is mark 1.25 inches in that way and 1.25 inches in that way. Now I know 5 squares is 1.25 inches, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the dark line there. And I'm just going to make those join up with the line that I drew across. Now it doesn't matter if these lines aren't perfectly straight, and because they're not going to be seen anyway. Let's get my scissors. So what you're going to do is these oblongs here, that one and that one, you're going to cut them off. Okay, so that's one. And that's 2. Now we're going to fold on the score line, and we're going to give it a gentle going over with our bone folder, and I'm going to remove that pencil mark. Now we're going to take this piece. Oh, I forgot to tell you, because on this one here, when you pull it out, you've got plenty of room to write your message on here. You could do it on there, but it's not practical really. So I've got an extra piece here that I'm going to adhere on here, and this measures 4 1/8 inches by 3.5 inches. Right, so this is the right side for me. So what you need to do is, with the right side of that T shape facing you, you've got to adhere it like that and just leave a small gap in between there. You can see the grid paper through there. Okay, just a small gap. So I'm going to put use Tombow for this. Tweezers. This is where the grid paper really comes into its own to help you make sure you get everything lined up. I really wouldn't want to work without this now. There we go, so that's that. Now what we need to do is to make the actual collar, and this is one of those things I can't give you measurements and what have you. I can tell you precisely how you need to do it, but it's a little bit fiddly. What I like to do is just give my paper a very gentle bit of a curl, because we need to bend it, and it does help if you've just given it a little bit like that, because we need to bring it over, but these points here have got to line up with the top of our paper there, design series paper there. Okay, and what you need to do is to bring them over so they just about touch each other on that line. So if you work with both pieces at the same time, in fact what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pencil mark on mine so that I can see where I'm lining up to. Is that halfway? Yep, that's halfway. So that line there is halfway there. Okay, so now I know that I've got to bring my points down to that pencil mark there. And once you've done that, that's it. Then you can press your collar down. Now, if you find, like I have, that I'm exposing a little bit of the underneath there, and on there, or not that one. If you want to cut those off, you can. If you're not bothered about them, then that's fine. But I am going to cut mine off. And this one you can actually see it's showing from the back. In fact, is that the bit that... In fact, keep it that way to make sure that you don't cut off the wrong piece. And what I tend to do is keep my scissors at an angle. That's it. Because the back isn't going to be seen at all anyway. So that one's perfect. And then again at an angle. Okay, so that's fine. Let me just remove the pencil mark. Most of this project is about measuring and folding and then cutting. So now the tie, what we're going to do is, first of all, now this one's easy because we can use our grid paper for doing all our measurements. Let me just bring myself in a bit. Right, now we need to measure 3/4 of an inch up. So if you put the base on one of the lines, and then 3/4 of an inch is 3 squares up. So that's there and there. So that's nice and easy. Okay, now what you need to do is, because this is an inch wide, you can put it so that the thick dark line is halfway between, and you need a little mark there. And then you need to draw from that point down to that point, and that point down to that point, so you've got an arrow. So I'll do mine and then I'll bring it up close to you so that you can see exactly what it is that I've done. Okay. Now, if you turn that upside down, line it up again on one of the lines down here, and then make a mark at 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch that side. And then what we're going to do is we are going to draw a line from that 1/4 of an inch down to that point there, and the same on the other side. So from that point there down to there, and then that one down to there. Okay, so now that's what you have. So what we need to do is cut that out. So if we cut along that line, along that line, and then down these. And then because that bit on the end there is really pointed, I just cut a little round curved bit on it. It's close enough. It may not be perfect, but it definitely is close enough. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to erase those pencil marks as well. I will show you the other tuxedos that I've done today, and I'll explain to you the bits that I didn't like and why I didn't like them. Right, so that's that. Where's my other bit of tie gone? Oh, come on, you can't disappear on me. Well, that's not clever, is it? Not clever at all. Did I knock it on the floor? No, that's not it. Oh, for goodness sake, come on. I wonder if I could just cut myself a piece. This is just so unlike me. Right, okay. I'm going to wing this. So what size did I need? It's the tie, and it's 3/4 by 1 1/4. Right. 3/4 by 1 1/4. Today's really not a good day for videoing. This is my second attempt. The first one, what happened, battery ran out. Although hubby recharged it the other day, I don't think it actually connected, and I did the first take, did like 2 or 3 minutes or something, and kaput, battery gone. So now I got one of my pieces gone walkabouts. Right, so what we need to do now is I'm going to adhere that onto there, just a little bit of Tombow. You can use snail if you want. Whoops. In fact, let me get my silicone mat. I don't like making my work area sticky. Okay, so all I'm going to do is pop that on there so that it looks as if that is about the same distance, and to make sure it's straight. So let's put that back over there. That's it, good, good, good. Now this one I just eyeball, I don't measure this. What you need to do is you need to cut from that point there, okay, that point, over to that point there. So it's just like the direction of the needle there. And the good thing about our paper snips, as I've said so many times, is that they cut to the end of the actual blade. So you shouldn't finish up cutting your actual tie. and then the other one. Okay, so that's our tie. Doesn't look very straight to me, but I really shouldn't worry about that because we know that I can't see a straight line. We're not going to worry about it. Right, so that's that. That is going to be adhered in there. Okay, so this line here is going to be along the top line there, and again I'm going to use Tombow, and I'm also going to just put a little bit down here as well, so that bit's the most important. Okay, so I've only got a little squiggle down there. Right, if I get this lined up again. That's it, then I know that dark line is the centre again. There are so many different ideas that kept going through my mind about what can be done with this. One of them, for example, with the tie, that could be dry emboss with one of our embossing folders. Well, there we go. So that's what that's going to be looking like. That's brilliant. Happy with that. So now we need to make... Oh, let's just pop this one on the back as well. Oh, that's my pocket. Oh, that's right. Yes, let's just pop this on the back. I thought for a moment there that I'd forgotten found a little bit that had gone walkabouts. But no, that'll probably turn up once I start clearing up. Now this I'm just eyeballing here. Let's move that out. There we go. So that's the tie. Now this one, we need to do some more scoring. So let's bring this back up again. And for this we need to we need to score at 2 3/8 inches. Oops, jumped the line again. And 2 3/8 inches. Now when you fold this over, you should find that the two of them will overlap. Okay, so once you fold that, give it a good burnish. Yeah, that's going to overlap, that's good. Okay, so that's where our shirt is going to be fitting in, like that. So we've just got to work out how we're going to do this bit. Now if I remember rightly, we need to come in. Oh, that's clever, I didn't write the instructions down. Okay, no worries. Let's do this one first. So what we need to do is to measure 1 1/4 inches across from here. So that's 1 1/4 and 2 1/4 down. In fact, it'd be easier to do it like this. So that's 2 1/4 inches down. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. 1¼ inches in from here. 1¼ and 2¼ down this way. Now this is for our lapel. So what I found easiest to do was with my ruler, I just joined the two lines and then I gave it one little bit of a score with my scoring tool. So that is going to go from there to there. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a big line there. We're going to encourage it to bend over with our fingers anyway. So there's that one. That one. Okay. Yep, that looks about right. Now just bend those back and again give them a good burnish. Now I didn't have any buttons that I could use, so I've taken some pearls and I've used my Stampin' blends to colour them. Not quite sure what colour they are, but it's sort of right. There we go. Pocket. What we need to do for that is just adhere that on top there. Just a little bit of Tombow. Not too much, otherwise it's going to come oozing out everywhere. There we go. And I'm going to pop that on there. On one of the experiments I did earlier today was I rounded the corners of the collar and the corners of the bottom corners of the pocket, and also the corners of the jacket down here. But I felt that it made it look more like a blazer than a tuxedo. There we go, so that's for the pocket there. Let me just show you that one that I did. Again, these are all sorts of things that you'll be able to decide for yourself whether you want to do them or not. That was just with my 3-in-1 corner rounder, and I did it there as well, and I did it down there. But I think that just definitely more like a blazer, not the effect I was going for. Right, so that's going to be going in like that. Okay, so that's what my, I can't really call this tuxedo, can I? It's a shirt and jacket. That's what this looks like. Now, I glue my pieces down to keep them in place, like these have been glued. So I just put a little bit there and a little bit there. I don't glue it all down because I like this. You can see I've got, you know, at least it's got dimension by not gluing it all down solid. So I just hold that for a little while. Right. I'm just going to put that with my 3-in-1 punch on it to hold it down. So I've got a really good grip. Don't want that one. Now I also adhere these down as well. I used my tear and tape before, but I think it may have come up a bit high last time. In fact, I need that to check it. And the other thing that I did was I did a double lapel here. You see that? I think so. Well, you'll certainly see it on this one. And all I did on that was I cut a little square. I didn't measure this or anything. Just cut one line parallel to that, and then one line parallel to that. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. There we go. So now I think it is just a question of adhering it down. I'm going to use, I think, well, I do prefer let's use Tombow. But no, we've got to do this one first. And in fact, we've got to do it all at the same time. I did mine as an afterthought previously, and it was a bit of a struggle, so let's think about this sensibly. Oh, come on. You've never stuck down before. Right, so first of all, I'm going to just put some tear and tape along there. I could use Tombow on this bit down here now, couldn't I? If I just lift that off, and I'm going to use just a very, very small amount. Now I can't afford to go up too high, otherwise the shirt will be sticking out at the top. Now I'm just going to put some on here. And as I bring that over, that will glue down as well. And I think I might have, yes I did, but not very well. The glue's come undone. That's more like it. You can see it's stuck down again. Right, so let me just do that as well. In fact, I need it to be a little bit more. I wonder if I ought to use dimensionals, because then it would make it stand up a little bit, wouldn't it? I'll save that for later while I'm thinking about it. Okay, so let's get this. Okay. So there we have it. There's our jacket, tuxedo, whatever. If you wanted to put a greeting on the front, you could. So I'm going to because that will irritate me. Keep popping up like that. So let me be showing you the other ones I've been doing. I've shown you that one, which was the rounded. This one was very much like the black one. It's just that this collar here, which is what I've done on all three here, they all finished up getting rather creased up there. Can you see that? I wasn't very happy with that at all. Now this one I did rather like, but again the collar got rather creased up. But I did like the fact that that's a designer series paper. But on this one, what happened to write your greeting, that came down. Okay, so that's something different that you could do. But I never finished these off properly to actually get them to adhere down. And the buttons, I didn't have anything suitable, so that I used our fine tip glue pen. Don't know if you can see that. There you go. Okay, I just punched little circles and then covered them. So that was those. So yeah, I think that was probably about all of them that I did. So there we go. Plenty of room for that to slide up and down, and plenty of room for it to go in our envelope. As I say, you could make it come further down if you wanted to. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. That will be stuck in next to no time. That's irritating me no end. But there we go. I hope you've enjoyed today's project, and I really hope you give it a try. We're not that far away from Father's Day now, so great project for that. If you have any questions, please leave them in the box below the video. I'm always happy to help you. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I've featured here today, there'll be a link to my 24/7 shop in the box below. I'll also put all the measurements and the score lines and the products that I've used in the box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.